Hey everyone, I wanted to talk today about exercise. Somebody recently asked me how I came up with my exercise routine. Basically, since this whole craziness happened a year and a half ago and I was finally diagnosed, at first I was extremely scared to exercise because I thought my pressures are already so incredibly high. They were at 180 at that time. Pulmonary therapy really gave me a solid routine to follow, so I no longer have to have that fear. If you guys are in Manhattan, the Pulmonary Wellness Center is amazing. I'll put the link in the description below. I suggest going to a place where the people are motivating and inspiring because I've been to some places that are kind of depressing and I would definitely not suggest going there. When I went, it wasn't so much for me about maintenance. I really went and said, I want to get better, I want to get stronger. They believed, like I did, that I could get better and stronger. So I work out 5 days a week, and one of those days I go to pulmonary therapy, and they basically monitor me and they push me every week a little further, and then I go home and I do that specific routine on my own. And right now I'm training for a 5K, so they're pushing me a little bit harder. In the beginning I could barely get from my bathroom to the living room. I could barely walk 1 block. I was so incredibly short of breath. The process is really gradual and I really had to be patient. And I basically had to turn very tiny victories into extremely large victories. So, one day I would be able to walk on the treadmill for, let's say, 2 minutes at a pretty slow speed. And then the next day I'd go back and walk 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And for some that may seem sort of ridiculous, that little difference of 15 seconds really became a huge deal for me because it just meant that I was getting better. So today I'm able to jog for about 3 minutes. And the great thing about that is that it really applies to the rest of your life. Random things we don't even think about, like unloading the dishwasher, walking your dogs, going shopping, hanging out with your friends, just walking and talking in the street. All of these things really become so much easier when you're strengthening your body. On the days that I wake up and I'm like, oh no, exercise, I just did it yesterday, I really don't want to do it again today, I basically visualize the one thing I want to do in my life with more ease. For me, that's perform. And so I keep that image in my mind, and that pushes me because I don't want to be short of breath on stage. I don't want to struggle on stage. I really want to be able to sing with all the energy and stamina I can have. Whatever it is that inspires you, I would say keep that thought in your mind. So every time you go to exercise, just think that you're making all of these other things in your life so much easier. I was never a fan of jogging. It's so funny how when you are supposedly can't do something, you're like, hey, wait a second, now I want to jog. So I decided that anytime I had to take public transportation, I would try to walk instead. So we would have to go to the hospital, and I'm about 20 blocks away from the hospital. In the beginning, I couldn't make it. I could only do about 5 blocks. So I'd do 5 blocks, and then I'd take a taxi for the rest of the way. A couple weeks later, I would do 10 blocks, and then finally I was able to actually walk all the way to the hospital, and that really made me feel so great. I would say anytime you have an opportunity to walk instead of take public transportation, that's something I would highly recommend. So one of the biggest things I've had to remind myself this entire time, and I continue to remind myself, is not to compare myself to other people, but instead to just compare myself to myself. It's really all about how much better you are than you were, let's say, a week ago or a month ago. It really has nothing to do with anyone else. And I used to get into this vicious cycle where all of a sudden my symptoms would be really bad. My heart was beating out of my chest and my legs were heavy, my lungs were hurting and I was coughing, and I would think, oh no, is this it? Am I getting worse? Is this like the downfall? And I would get into this thought process that would just lead me to a very bad place. I don't know what this is, but anyway, apparently this is leading me to a very bad place. It was really important for me to remind myself that those were just moments, and that anyone, pulmonary hypertension or not, has bad moments. So another key thing is using oxygen. That's a huge thing, and I've had a lot of people come to me and say, I'm supposed to be using oxygen, but I don't, because I'm embarrassed. I really don't want to walk around with a tank. And I would say it's been so helpful for me to just get over that, because I had that in the beginning. I was like, oxygen? I can't wear oxygen? What are you talking about? So when I was in the hospital, they came in and they told me that I might need to be on oxygen for the rest of my life, and I was like, what? Hold on a second, seriously? And I really, really struggled with that thought. So then the next day, news was that I may not even be leaving the hospital. So once I heard news that was worse than wearing oxygen, all of a sudden wearing oxygen didn't seem so bad after all. So when I did get home from the hospital, it was a bit of a struggle because I really didn't want to wear oxygen. But I realized that my body was really struggling and my heart was working so hard. It just made sense that I would do everything that I possibly could to help my body. I would suggest that if you're prescribed oxygen, wear it because it's gonna make the difference of the world for your body. I would say make your tank your friend. I've been able to do so much more because of it. So again, just to recap the things that have helped me: going to pulmonary therapy, having them design a routine specifically for me, using oxygen, doing some form of exercise 5 days a week, reminding myself not to compare myself to other people, but to compare myself to myself, walking rather than taking public transportation when possible, visualizing myself doing the thing or things that I would like to do with a lot more ease, remembering that everyone, PH or not, has bad days, allowing small victories to become large victories, finally enjoying every day of your life because life is amazing. And I've been sounding so corny on these videos. I'm just getting cornier and cornier as I go. But it's true, life is amazing. I feel very lucky to be alive. So the most important thing for me was to continue to remind myself that I could get better no matter what anybody was telling me. If there's anything I can do to help, if you guys have any questions at all about anything, hopefully I can answer them. If you do have questions, leave them in the comments section below. Don't forget that I have 2 YouTube channels, a vlog channel, and a music channel. And we just released the new music video for my song Be Brave on my music channel, which you can check out right here. Just click on that link. So don't forget to subscribe to both, leave me comments. I love hearing from you. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching these videos. I will see you soon.